Give me your thoughts, because you were in Chattanooga, from what I understand, when all of this happened.
Yes, absolutely. I'm actually very closely connected to that unit and have been for quite some time. I was going home because I felt like the people back home needed me. And when I got there, I was incredibly surprised. And it's not a message I've been able to get out there quite yet, but the feeling there is a feeling of love. It's not hatred and animosity. It's not fear. It's love. These people came together. They supported one another. They supported these Marines and this sailor. And they just want to see justice. And they want to see the rest of the Marines, the sailors, the armed service members around the country protected.
Right. Well, I mean, and when we consider, too, we've had these, I don't know if you want to call them negotiations. We have secret side deals that have been made. We give Iran nuclear capacity, and we're also funding it. But then here at home, we do more to prevent our men and women who are being targeted by ISIS. They sent out a hit list. The Pentagon sent out a memo saying just FYI. And you would think, there was also something that was released today. Atlanta's daily paper had a story about how, yeah, these are going to keep happening. There was a military member who had a threatening note on his car in the same manner that you would see from a jihadist. They're going to keep happening. And the fact that, Johnny, we're having a conversation even about whether or not our men and women in uniform should be protected, they should arm themselves. That seems insane to me. What am I missing? What are your thoughts on this?
Hey, listen, on July 9th, an APB went out in the state of Texas saying, look at social media. These terrorist organizations are targeting our armed service members. They're targeting them here with lone wolf terrorists and terrorists they've been indirectly and directly in communication with. The men and women that serve our country, they're the ones that are trained to use a weapon, trained to do it responsibly, trained to protect the people that they love and share this country with. If you can't arm them, who can you arm?
Right.
And at the end of the day, now we've got civilians guarding our service members because the DOD response is to not wear your uniform. Right. Thank God for the handful of governors who are arming their National Guardsmen, but we've got 4 other services out there waiting to hear something, waiting to hear, go arm yourself and protect yourself.
And this is a different era, because when that regulation was first made, we've talked about that on the show, yes, we didn't have our military men and women targeted here at home. We didn't have actual hit lists going out. People weren't leaving threatening notes on cars the way it is. I mean, it's changed pretty quick, and I'm kind of surprised that the Department of Defense hadn't changed with it.
Well, there's one major change. That's the internet, social media. We get information to our hand, and unfortunately, these terrorist organizations are inspiring bored or troubled or whatever youth, Muslims in this country, just people in general that have crazy ideas are being inspired, and they live next door. So someone in, Idaho or Washington or Chattanooga, Tennessee, can be directly connected to an organization halfway across the world. We didn't have that in the early 90s. Now we do, and it's a big problem.
It's a big problem, and it's almost like it's like a spore system. It's releasing this and actually infecting individuals in other areas so that they become radicalized, which is why, again, it's
Absolutely.
So important. I mean, even the story where they were telling military families, well, don't tie ribbons onto your trees so that you can avoid being targeted when your loved ones are deployed. That made me so angry that they would rather have people go to ground, Johnny, instead of just saying, fire back, protect yourself if attacked.
Listen, there are multiple issues at hand with this DOD directive to not wear your uniform. First and foremost, they're recruiters. Their job is to go out and inspire the youth in this country to come in and join their fold, to find the cream of the crop at the local high school, or that 25-year-old that's lost his way and is looking for something to be inspired by. They need to be in that uniform. They need to be out there standing tall, standing proud, showing this country what that warrior class truly is. They can't take that uniform off. They can't put bars on their windows. They can't put guard shacks in front of their stations. What's the next logical step? Arm them, train them to interact and be ready in a civilian situation to protect the innocents around them and take out the threat.